good evening, guys. Here we are back on Old Fiddles New Life. Um, I probably hadn't played my viola in at least 6 months, maybe nine. And I got it out the other night because I was really thinking about kind of missing it. And when I got it out and I went to open the case, every one of the every one of the pegs had popped. In other words, keep in mind, it had been in a case here in this very dry man cave of mine for a long, long time. And so anyway, I started trying to tune it, and the G would not hold. No matter what I did, it would not hold. I mean, I would try to tune it up, and it would slide back. And and so I went ahead and I put some peg drops on. And even with the peg drops and letting it sit for a long time, it still was not holding in any of them. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And so what I did, I went ahead and started one by one undoing the the viola string from the peg and pulling it out to look at it. And these pegs are shot. Keep in mind, this instrument is probably about 40, almost 45 years old. And I think these, I don't only think, I'm almost positive these are the original pegs that came in it. So they're at least for 45 years old. And the strings were shot. I got to looking at those, and I realized those had been on there from the time I had the instrument. Anyway, so I ordered new strings. They're on the way. I ordered new pegs. They're on the way. The strings are coming from Amazon. I'm getting another set of, what is it that I always use? Anyway, yeah. I just blanked out. Anyway, but I'm getting a brand new set of pegs from Metropolitan Music. I really like getting stuff from them because they're right up here in Vermont. They're in Stowe, and when I order something, I have them either the next day or the day after. So it's that fast here in Vermont. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting all that and putting all the pieces together and trying to get this instrument back up and running. Let me just kind of show you what we're working with here. This is the Russell Flagg viola that I bought. Oh my goodness, I trying to remember when it was that I bought it, but it was a long, long time ago. And beautiful, beautiful old instrument. It was made by Russell Flagg, and I've got a whole video about this instrument. So you go back and check that out in Old Fiddles New Life, okay? I've got a whole video about this instrument. And after Russell Flagg died, he left us incomplete. He had done parts of it, but had not done all of it. And so what happened was Adrien Bianjou got hold of all the parts because he was, I think he played in the same New Orleans Symphony Orchestra with Russell Flagg, and because they knew each other, and Russell entrusted him with the parts from his dad's viola. Go back and check out the video, like I said. But Adrian finished this up, and Russell sold this to me for $300, and I counted a blessing. I played this when I was a member of Cape Cod Conservatory String Ensemble down on Cape Cod, and loved playing in that group. Believe me, I was just a backseater. I mean, I was just back there playing the viola parts to all the lead lines of the violins up in the front row. So, and I was one maybe of 6 or 8 violists in that group. So, all right. So I'm going to let you know right now. This is going to be my next little project here. I've already cleaned it up tonight, and we're going to be putting new strings, new pegs on it when they get here. In the meantime, knowing that we're going to be, I'm going to be doing this, I've already taken my peg shaver out, taken the blade off, and sharpened it. And so it is literally razor sharp at this point. And I'm going to turn this around and show you how it works. And, just kind of, I wanted to do this ahead of time because shaving pegs down from their full diameter size down to the size that they fit and properly fit into the instrument, it's a lot of work. And so I wanted to make sure I had this blade completely sharpened and ready to go when those pegs get here. So we're going to turn this around and we'll show you. Well, first of all, guys, let's take a look at these pegs, because I mean, when you see these, you're going to recognize incredibly how worn out these pegs are. Okay, I want you to see if we can tune in on this. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but that peg is worn beyond belief, and there, where the string wound around it, there are literally grooves in the ebony where. Here, let me get another one that shows even better. Yeah, look at that. You can see that. There are grooves in the ebony where that string just wound in and tightened over all those many years of using. What's that crap on there? Anyway, okay. So, yeah, these are shot, and this is why I've got a brand new set of pegs on the way. I just called up to where's the other one? Anyway, you got it. So I just called up to Metropolitan Music today and ordered them, and they already have them on the way. Okay, so I sharpened the blade, and it is literally razor sharp at this point. It's a beautiful thing. You're not even going to be able to see the edge of it. It's so sharp. Okay, and I was using an old antique oil stone. It says home oil stone. And you can find these on the internet. You can probably pay, I don't know how much they charge, but this is an antique one. This is part of my grandfather's stuff. And this is a peg shaver. And this blade is mounted right here. And the blade lines up right at the very edge right here. And you can see the V shape here. So that what happens is you raise this up, and when you put the peg in there and bring it down, it holds it on the angle that is set for. In other words, that angle right there. In other words, that particular angle diameter, and it holds it right there. And all you do is very carefully start turning it, and as you turn it, it is very, very finely taking off shavings, and ultimately what you're doing is you shave it for a while and then check it into your violin or viola to make sure that it's the right going in at the right depth, going in at the right setting, so that you're going to get a good grip. Anyway, you get the whole idea. So that's what I'm going to be doing. As soon as those pegs get here, I'm going to be off and running with that project first, because you can't do anything with the strings until the pegs are done. Well, guys, my pegs from Metropolitan Music arrived, and very nice. I've already got one in the shaver, working on it. And you can sure tell the difference here. I'm going to show you. Oh, by the way, my prelude strings for my viola, all this is for my viola. These just arrived as well from Amazon. And I had to, because I have a 17-inch viola, you have to have long 16 and over strings. Otherwise, you're going to end up too short on your strings. Anyway, okay, but I want to show you something. This is, push this out of the way. These are genuine viola strings, okay? And this is one of the pegs that was in the viola. That is a violin peg. My viola never had viola pegs in it. I think that when the guy built the instrument, I think he put violin pegs in it. I'm really glad to get these out. These are the ones that are worn all to pieces, and you can actually see the marks right in it, that the string is worn right into the peg. Junky old pegs. Well, anyway, now we got some brand new actual viola pegs. They're larger, more beefy. They'll still fit the same holes because it's a viola. But also, like I said, I already have one in the shaver that I'm going to be working on. So, all right, we'll get this project is underway. Okay, so now that my viola pegs have arrived, and that's my peg shaver is all ready to go here. I've decided to go ahead and settle in and listen to a little classical. This is my Pandora radio station called Antonio Vivaldi Radio. And I love it. It's all my stuff, stuff I choose. But let me just turn it around. I'm going to show you what I just did before I started working with it, shaving the pegs down, because I got a lot of work, a lot of stuff to get done here. I've got to do all 4 pegs, custom fit to their own peg hole, and it takes some time because I'm very, very, as everybody is. Anybody who does this work about fitting a set of pegs, it's not a quick job. So anyway, I'm going to just show you a little bit about a peg shaver and what I did before any of this even started. So let me turn it around. Okay, so this is a peg shaver. This head tilts to match. Well, let's just take one of these. This is one of the pegs that came out of it. And what you do before you're ever going to do all your new pegs, you go ahead, and we'll get back to some of the more important stuff on this in a minute. You take your existing peg from your viola or violin, depending on what you're doing, and you put it in there, and this goes up. The whole system goes up and down here, and you bring it down so that the V notch. So we get this over here so we can see it a little better. So that V notch right there is resting perfectly right on top of the peg, right where. It's not easy doing this. Okay, right where the collar. The collar comes up against the edge of the peg shaver. Okay, so in other words, it's going to hold it right in that position. And in the meantime, because you're allowing this to pivot, you look at this other end, and it's perfectly aligned. Hang on, perfectly aligned right in there. Okay, so once you get it in there, and you get the slant of the peg according to how it sits in the hole and the peg hole on the viola, then you take it and just make sure it's down there nice and securely, and you tighten this. That sets the way that that's going to carve out that peg. And so take this out. Where's the one I'm working on? I just had it out here. Oh, I know where it is. It's in my viola. There it is right there. I've been working on this one, and I've already got a lot done on it. Okay, so here's the peg. And by the way, let's show you how thick that was. That's how thick it was to begin with. You can see how much I've brought that down already. And so I'm going to put that back in here, and I'm going to put it down here like that. Okay, that's just right. And once it gets into place with your little collar right up against the edge of the can't see where I'm putting my finger, right up against the edge of the peg shaver, right there. You go ahead and turn this down so that it's, hang on. There's your blade. There's your blade. And it's right there. That's the blade. Okay, you can see the slant of it. See that right there? Well, I sharpened that sucker big time to where, as a matter of fact, it's part of the video here that we're doing. I sharpen that to where it's razor sharp. And so when I put the each peg in and tighten it down a little bit, and by the way, you don't try to do it all at once. You just nudge this down and until it bites a little bit, and then you turn the peg, and then you turn the peg, then nudge it down a little bit more, and turn the peg. And what happens over a period of time? What happens is that it's slowly but surely. Come on. I'm really having problems with this camera tonight. Slowly but surely, the peg takes shape, and I have been doing that for a while. And I'll tell you what, it is fitting the peg hole perfectly on the G. Now, I've got more to go. I have to take it down some more because I want it to go in further to where it's not sticking out so far. Let me show you. And then I'm going to get back to work. I'm not going to do this, and I'll maybe do a little bit of this just to show you. Okay, so here we are. This is working for the G, right? Okay. There you go. And that is perfectly tight at both this cheek and this cheek. And that is really, really nice and tight. So what I'm going to do when I take this out is go right back over the shaver and put it in and begin to tighten it down a little bit and take it a little bit at a time. That is just fitting so nice. Perfect. Okay, you get the idea. That's how it works. And I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. Okay, so we're going to get started on this. See all this? Okay, that is shavings from the side, from the edges, from the side of the peg, and there's a bunch of them. I got them all over the floor down here. But anyway, you take your peg out, and clear up all the shavings that are inside the cutting zone, and then pick up your viola and test it. Oh yeah, it's getting better. See, that's still out there quite a ways. I don't know if you can see that. Still out there quite a ways. I want that to come in some more. And what I'm going to do when I bring this in, maybe about another 1/8 of an inch max. So I bring it in, I'm going to very carefully finish, take some very fine steel wool and just kind of clear this up. And then I'm going to cut this peg right at the, or just beyond the edge of the cheek. And then we'll round it over. And so all you'll see of the end of the peg is just a rounded over end, just barely coming through the cheek. And meanwhile, and that's what you do with every one of these, is wherever they sit in the scroll, in the peg box, you have kind of bring them have them go in a certain amount, cut them off on the outside over here, and then round them over, and that way they look balanced. Look, everything looks just great. So we're done. Okay, so here you are. The pegs are all done. You see how the pegs just barely come through the cheek, They're rounded over. Same thing over here. Let me see if I can focus that. I've had a hard time with this cell phone camera. It's having a hard time focusing in the last couple of videos. Anyway, okay, but you can see it. That's okay, and then you can see the balance here, how far they are out from the cheek, and there you go. That's a brand new set of pegs, all perfectly cut and installed, and they fit like a dream. And not only that, they work. They work. I don't have to struggle with them at all. When I go to tune, they tune up or down, and they hold, and I don't have to. There's so much. What a difference between these brand new actual viola pegs and the old, very beat up violin pegs that just had. I did did a little figuring of the years. 44 years those pegs were in there, and they had it. So anyway, but now I'm really happy. Got a brand new set of pegs, and the strings are all in good order. These are my brand new prelude strings, and been really enjoying playing it. Well, guys, that's a wrap for this episode of Old Fiddles New Life. I just finished playing. See, Lament for the Death of Neil Gow's Second Wife. Okay, very poorly. Keep in mind, I have not played my viola in a long, long, long time. But I chose that because there's some really nice low notes on the C and the G there, and I really kind of enjoy hearing the resonance on those lower notes. And I'm got to do a whole lot more practicing, but I wanted to share that with you. And that'll, like I said, that'll be a wrap for our episode of Old Fiddles New Life. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll be back. And hope you guys come on back to next time.